Facebook, the other platforms joining us. I'm your host, Marcus Howard, one of the co-founders of Gamers Home, freelancer marketplace for the gaming industry. And Brian and I are excited to go through another onboarding walkthrough session. A, to talk to you about freelancing in the gaming industry, and then more importantly, B, show you how easy it is to kickstart your career in the gaming industry using our freelancer marketplace. So I'm going to be speaking here. Brian is navigating here on the screen, and we're going to go over the process of how easy it is and quick it is to create your freelancer profile and your services. As you can see, Brian is scrolling down the page here. If you have any questions, please send those in. We can see questions live. Happy to answer those as well. There are 8 different categories that we have: art and animation, focus groups, voice and sound, testing and QA, mentoring and coaching, marketing community, translation, localization, and story and narratives. For today's session, we'll just be covering both the content creation, influencing, and the focus groups. So what you want to do is click on the green sign up button and enter your information here. We can both have you register on this form as a freelancer, as a student. If you're a gaming industry professional, you also register here. There's also the employer sign in if you're watching this and you are an employer who wants to hire on-demand freelance talent. After you do that, you'll then go to the login page. And once you log in, you will see your dashboard that is basically your headquarters, your home base. It shows you a high-level summary of all the engagement you've had on our platform, both stats on your services and then how much traffic you're getting to the pages for those services. So next, Brian, if you'll scroll over to this left, I'm missing the left side here. You go to edit your profile. Missing just left navigation. I can see you scrolling. It's not in this viewport. Actually, let me jump over to, I probably can see it here. Perfect. So inside of the dashboard, after you click your profile, you have the ability to create your user profile. So this is, if you're familiar with LinkedIn, very similar to LinkedIn or any really social media platform, networking platform. This is the platform or the area where you will put your name, your location, just information about you as a professional. And here, where Brian is selecting content creation and influencing, is where you can select your primary category. So again, especially if you are a college student, you may not have the depth of professional experience for some of the other areas, but in either case, you can apply to those if you do. If you don't, content creation and influencing is a great first step into the industry. So you'll select your category, you'll select your level. We have levels 1 through 5. If you are just now entering the industry, you're going to select level 1, and that will pay you $26 an hour for those services. You can go all the way up to level 5, which is $107 an hour. In the next section, you will then add the description. This is your profile description. So again, if you're familiar with LinkedIn, this is something where you probably could even copy and paste your summary, professional summary into here. If you don't have that, if you're a college student and haven't logged into a professional platform like LinkedIn yet, just take a quick few minutes and type a short paragraph, very succinctly, and with also having a level of detail. Describe who you are, what you do, and why you'd be a great addition to any team looking to add you as a freelancer to their team. After that, you go and add individual experiences. Again, very similar to LinkedIn, you talk about and reflect on the work that you've done. And especially if you're a college student, you don't necessarily have to have worked at a company, although that's always helpful. You can add experience that you've had from projects, right? Either projects you've done in class or projects you may have worked on as part of student organizations, right? Anything you may have done in volunteering in the local community. If that is relevant to your profession, to your future profession, you can add that here. You add the title, you add the start and end date, the company, if it's, again, not with a company, but you volunteered with a nonprofit, or if you worked at the student organization or in a class project, you could always put class project. Then provide a short description of what you did in that role for that experience. And you can add as many of those experiences as you deem necessary. We have 2 here. You can always click to add another experience. The maps and locations is just, again, to help people understand what area you live around the world. So if they have very local specific opportunities, that you show up when they're looking for talent that's in those areas. And then right before we go to the media, Brian, if you go up just a little bit, there is a quick drop down that says whether or not you want your profile to be displayed. By default, it's set to hide, but when you're ready, he's already been working on this, so he set it to show, but it's set to hide. When you're ready and you're done updating your profile and your services, you can set it to show, and then your profile will be displayed on the public facing site for employers to find. Next is the media. Media is where you'll share visual assets related to the work that you do. So that could be screenshots, it could be art you've created, any kind of visual asset. We accept GIFs, PNGs, JPEGs with files less than 5 megabytes. You'll see he's uploading an image now. This is displayed on your profile. Next, we have additional files where we support things like PDFs and docs. So especially if you're in narrative writing, you might not have a visual representation of your work. But if you have something, a portfolio, and it's in a document, whatever that may be, you could save it as a document, DOC, Word file, or PDF and upload it here. And then you can customize your profile URL if you want to. Next is the section for awards. If any of the work that you've done, again, in school, as a student project, in the local community has been recognized by a third party, again, including the school, you can add that information here. It's really helpful for employers to see so they can understand that other people have recognized the excellent work that you do. Put the title, the year, and then a short description of that award. And you can do as many of those as you have. Next are your skills. This is where, again, you reflect on what you bring to the table that's uniquely you, that's exceptional, and you add those titles, and then you can rate yourself out of, up to 100 on where you believe your skill set is. So, 80, 85, 90, if it's something that you're developing, maybe it's in the 50, 60, 70 range. But each of these things, from your own experience, it kind of distills your work experience into very core skills. Skills exist on LinkedIn, but there's not really, outside of people endorsing you, not a way for you to rank yourself or rate yourself on those skills. And as you see here, the third skill he put here is live streaming, especially if you're trying to get into content creation and influencing. You would have skills like that, like live streaming, community management, content strategy, and social media management. He has some great examples there. And then the last section, the FAQ. So again, if you're a college student, you're watching this, haven't started your career yet, or you're early into your career, when you go through the interview process with different employers, you typically get similar questions, like why people should hire you, what's your average work day look like, your workspace look like, or what kind of content. And this example, as a content creator, what kind of content do you specialize in? You have the opportunity to provide those answers in advance, right? So that people can understand more about the work you do, your skill set, and feel really confident that you're the person they need to select for a content creation or influencing opportunity. And you can add as many of those questions as you want. This next question he's adding is, how do you tailor your content for different platforms? Again, it's best to answer these in advance if you can, and that just makes it easier for a brand to say, hey, I'm ready to hire this person, hire you to work with them on their team, on their project. Once you're done, click Save Profile. And then you get a notification your profile has been successfully updated. And next, we're going to move on to creating a service. So the first thing we did after you signed in was we created your profile, and profiles have services. So now we're going to create a service so you can attach it to your profile. So again, keeping in line with the content creation influencer marketing, we're going to create a title for engaging gaming content creation. He sets the category to content creation influencing, sets the amount of time he expects that particular service to take, and then the price. So he set 2 hours. He set the price for that for $200. And again, you have the ability to set whatever price you feel is equitable for the service you're providing. We have levels, but you also can set specific service prices. And then just a description of what that service is. It says, I offer a comprehensive suite of services. That has gotten much more detailed. And now it has offerings, game reviews, and walkthroughs, lore, exploration, narrative content. So just different types of breakdowns of what that looks like, and then a description, more detailed description of the high-level summary of the offering. Again, you're welcome to set your location. In the gaming industry, it's a global ecosystem. There are gamers around the world. There are gaming companies around the world, but some opportunities are only local. So it's helpful to share. And especially if you only want to work local, you want to share those opportunities as well, or your location to match with those opportunities. And then just like for your user profile, with each of these services, you can set images. So you have a featured image. That's the image that will basically be prominently displayed on the page for the service when people land there. And then a gallery has secondary and tertiary, second and third images that you might want to set so people can have just a better visual idea of what you're bringing to the table for this particular service. And then for each service, you can add add-ons. So an add-on, if you're familiar with, say, like Fiverr, they're a platform that works across a variety of different spaces. You can add add-ons if you want rush delivery or you want a specific file format. We offer that same functionality. So if you look on the left-hand side, you can see, just like you see create service, there's a section that says service add-on. You can create your add-ons independently of your services, and then mix and match add-ons as you create your services. So for this particular service, he selected the I will produce the delivery in 1 day, rush delivery. No FAQs. Oh, he is adding an FAQ. Is he adding FAQ? That's what he's doing. So FAQ for this service, can you work with specific game genres or titles? He's going to add another FAQ question. Again, just like you have FAQs about you as an individual, you want to answer those commonly asked questions about the services you provide. So again, that people feel very excited to work with you, confident that you are, the talent that they want for this project. Then you click Save and Preview. So it will show you what the service will look like. You have a chance to preview what the service will look like before you hit Publish. That way you have a chance to review it, make any changes as you see fit. Just make sure that, again, everything is the way you intended. As you see on the right side, he set the base price for this service at $200. You see the add-on, I will provide rush delivery. If you check that add-on, it will automatically increase the price by the amount of the add-on. And then at the bottom, again, very similar to other marketplaces, you have reviews for the service. So as people continue to book you for services and then rate you for that work, you have reviews for that service. On the right-hand side, you also see a summary of your profile. This is about the seller. So that information, not only can you get to it from the various ways we showed you, but here on each of your services, and even here at the top, a link directly back to you. So once you're done editing the service, you can submit it. If you do still see some changes you need to make, you can click on Edit Service. But here, we've got everything the way we want it. Click Submit. Get a notification, service listed successfully. And then you can go back and then immediately view that listing by clicking the click here. So we're going to go back to the dashboard. We see we have one posted service. Click on the My Services tab on the left navigation. And we have two posted services. The one we just created was engaging gaming content creation under the content creation and influencing category. The second we have is translating English to French with a different category. And now you see this service is live. So people are able to go see it on the live site and immediately book the work, book you to do the work. So we're going back to the Gamers home page and looking at focus groups. And under focus groups and game reviews, again, this is another opportunity for, particularly for students, if you don't have a lot of professional experience, a way for you to start getting professional experience is to join our focus groups. We've hosted a number of them last year. We'll host many of those here again this year. It's an opportunity for brands who want to learn your opinion, your feedback, your expertise, just learn from you as their prospective customer. They work with us to make focus groups available to the community. So you can sign up for a focus group. You don't have to have a technical background. You don't have to have an artistic background. You just need to be willing to share your honest opinion with them, and then they'll book you for it. So you may see those listed as services. You can also add that as your own service, which we'll do here now. Nope, looks like we won't be doing that particular service. We just wanted to demo the one service for you doing influencer marketing and content creation. My mistake. So you do have the ability to create as many of those services as you saw listed under categories, which do include focus groups. So if you are interested in doing a focus group or being part of a focus group, you have the ability to create that and go ahead and get that published. You can do that today. Again, publish these services now, and then as you continue your journey into your career, people will be able to come here, and they will come here to review your skill set, your profiles, and then add you onto their teams. We have a question from John. Oh, John's joining us. Thank you for joining us, John. Let us know if you have any questions. I'll do a high-level review, and if you have any questions, again, happy to answer those live. But this platform is a freelancer marketplace. You think of marketplaces like Amazon or eBay. This marketplace is for freelance talent. So we see 3 different types of talent categories with respect to employers. Employers traditionally have focused on hiring full-time employees. So they work 40 hours a week, typically on site. I know we've seen some shifts in that over the years, people doing hybrid work and even fully remote work. But out of the 3 categories being full-time employee, contract, and freelancer, full-time employees are typically most likely to be on site and kind of ongoing employment, right? Then you have contractors who don't work in a full-time capacity, but may still work on site. Those contracts may be 3, 6, or 12 months and renewed at the end of those contracts. And then this category of employment is freelancer, so the gig economy. So instead of working a dedicated 40 hours a week on maybe a 3 to 6 month project, you may work 5 hours a week or 10 hours a week. And as a freelancer, you may balance multiple projects. This approach empowers you as a freelancer to A, be your own boss, B, set a market rate, right? As you saw, you can earn between $26 and $100 an hour for your work based on your skill set and your experience for that skill set. You also have the freedom to work from home. Freelancers typically work remote. You can bring on as much work as your schedule allows, right? If you only want to work 20 hours a week, you can work 20 hours a week as a freelancer. If you want to work 40 hours, you can work 40 hours. If you only want to work in the evenings, maybe you have a family or other responsibilities that you need to take care of, you have the flexibility as a freelancer where you may not have that as a full-time employee to set when you work. And the last piece is, unfortunately, there's been a number of layoffs in the industry over the last 18 months, and a lot of people are looking for work, and full-time jobs typically take 90 to 180 days to go from filling out the posting to bringing on someone onto their team. So in the meantime, this is a great way to get relevant experience, or even if you you work in a capacity of an audio designer, but you want to get into content creation, you can still be a full-time employer doing audio design and freelance as a content creator on nights and weekends. So lots of flexibility. That's what this platform's for. And at the bottom of our website, you see some of our most popular sellers. So these are individuals, again, we just recently launched. So they're working on getting some of their bookings, but people who have completed their full profile, that's what we would recommend for you. Students, if you've recently been laid off or you're just looking to start your career, go ahead and complete your profile now. Create a profile image, create some services, add your top 3 skills. So if you want people to feel confident that you were the person they want on their team, you want to have a full profile here. The same as if you wanted to create a profile on like an Indeed platform or on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn profiles that aren't fully complete don't get as much engagement as those that are complete. Same philosophy here. If you want people to feel very confident and excited to work with you, you want to put all of your information here so they can learn about you, learn about the services you provide, learn about places you've worked in the past, learn about awards you've received, and just, again, feel very excited that you are somebody they want to bring on their team. And then Brian has gone and shared on his profile that he's created for this demo, or sorry, this is David's profile. David is one of the freelancers recently registered. He's offering both game design and voice acting, and he has filled out his profile, a significant amount of his profile. So you can learn more about him and the work he's done in his career, and also see these 2 services that he's offering. John, I hope that answered your questions and brought you up to speed. Please let us know if you have any questions. You're welcome to enter those in the chat. So not seeing any questions. Going to wait a few more minutes for some questions. If you don't have any now, you're welcome to send us an email. Connect with us on LinkedIn, or go directly to the website. It's www.gamershome.studio. That's www.gamershome.studio. gamershome.studio. And again, if you're students who are watching this, even if you aren't a graduate, right? Maybe you're graduating what is it, January now? February? All the weeks are running together. If you don't graduate until May, or maybe you don't graduate until 2025, experiences you're doing now in your classes and with your student organizations and in the local community are relevant. And so in this opportunity on this platform, you can translate that experience into something that is of value to employers. And again, maybe you're a law student or a biochemistry student, and you love playing video games, and you always dreamed of having a career as a lawyer or a biochemist. That doesn't mean that you can't freelance. So this platform, our platform, Gamers Home, empowers you to turn your passion for video games into a profession. And that's everything as non-technical as content creation, influencer marketing, and focus groups, which don't require any prior experience, all the way up to more technical roles like localization and translation, QA and testing, voice and sound. And then even if you don't have those technical skill sets, we also have a category for mentoring and coaching. So if you are excellent at what you do, exceptional at what you do, you want to offer advice to others, you can do that and book mentoring and basically consulting opportunities off our platform. And then at the bottom is a list of articles from our blog. So want to just share this with you. We have an opportunity coming up on February 29th, where we'll be 2 opportunities, one coming up on the 27th and one on the 29th. The first is February 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be having another one of our Career Insights webinars. This one will be focused on voice acting. That's with Effie, and she actually voices one of the characters on Valorant. So someone who's working in a very popular game now, she's lended her voice talents to this role, to this industry. And again, a very popular title. Really excited about that conversation. She's going to share her journey. She's going to share her advice, her expertise. So if you want to get into voice acting, want to break into the industry, definitely would recommend you join us on February 27th. And then the next event we have coming up on the 29th is in partnership with the International Game Developers Association. We're going to be speaking directly to gaming studios about the value and the importance of leveraging freelance talent to augment their employment strategy. So we're partnering with the International Game Developers Association, one of the largest nonprofits. I'm sorry, this is a for-profit division. They've got a nonprofit division, but one of the largest organizations worldwide for gaming studios to onboard them into our ecosystem. So we expect this year to see a lot of posted job opportunities for freelance talent from these studios. Really excited for you to be on board before they get started so that you're at the front of the line, at the head of the pack. But in order to do that, you want to go ahead and create your full profile now so that after we have that event on the 29th and they start creating opportunities, your information will be there for them to consider you to be an addition to their team. So that was the Freelancer for Gaming Industry webinar. If you have any questions, again, please let us know in the chat. If you think of something later, because I only remember things at like 2 o'clock in the morning after I've forgotten about them for 2 or 3 days, you're welcome to send us an email, message us, join our Discord, or connect with us on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, Marcus Esports Howard. You'll find Brian on LinkedIn, Lord Brian Madana Mutu. I think I said that properly this time. We're excited to help you either start your career or help you start the next chapter of your career on Gamers Home. Thank you for your time. We'll see you soon.
Test.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes. Good.
All right.
It was nice. So there was 5 people on Handshake, 2 on LinkedIn,